You were not born bad. That is the part nobody tells you. You were born idealistic, which in this profession is almost worse. You wanted to protect people. You actually believed that. Badge number 4471, City of Los Angeles, 2014. You are 23 years old. You are proud, and you have absolutely no idea what the next 10 years are going to do to you. Level 1, the rookie. Your first week on patrol, you see things they didn't show you in the academy. The gap between the manual and the street is not a gap, it is a canyon. You ride with a 15-year veteran named Ortega, who hasn't filed an accurate report in 6 years and doesn't see any reason to start. He shows you how things actually work, not the law, the arrangement. Who gets touched and who doesn't, which corners are protected and which ones are open, which calls you respond to fast and which ones you let breathe for 20 minutes before you roll up. You tell yourself you're just observing, you're not participating. There's a difference. Ortega smiles when you say that. He's heard it before. He knows exactly how long that difference lasts. Level 2, the first compromise. It starts so small that you almost miss it. A traffic stop. The driver is nervous, too nervous for just a speeding ticket. You find something in the glove compartment, not enough to be a major case, enough to ruin his week. He looks at you, you look at him. He mentions a number. You think about your rent, your student loans, the overtime they promised and never delivered. You think about the manual. Then you think about Ortega, who has a boat. You let the man go. You drive away. Your hands are steady on the wheel. Your heart rate is fine. That is the part that should scare you. How easy it was. How normal it felt. The first compromise never feels like a compromise. It feels like a practical decision made by a reasonable person in a complicated situation. That's exactly how it's designed to feel. Level 3, the network. You are 26. Word travels in this city through channels that have nothing to do with dispatch. The right people now know your badge number in a different context, not as a threat, but as an asset. A man named Delgado buys you a meal at a restaurant you could never afford on your salary. He is not cartel, not directly. He is the layer between you and the cartel that gives everyone plausible distance. He explains the arrangement clearly, without pressure, almost like a job offer. You look the other way on certain vehicles, on certain routes, on certain nights. In return, an envelope appears in a location he describes once and never repeats. You don't ask what's in the vehicles. He doesn't tell you. That boundary, you both pretend, means something. You go home that night, and you don't sleep well. The next month, you sleep fine. The month after that, you don't think about it at all. Level 4, the justification. You are 28, and you have developed a very sophisticated internal legal system for what you do. The drugs were moving through this city whether you helped or not. You are simply a variable in a system too large for any one person to fix. The money you take funds your daughter's medical bills, your mother's rent, the things that your actual salary was never designed to cover. The people you protect from arrest are not innocent, but the people who would replace them would be worse. Every corrupt cop has a version of this argument. It is detailed, internally consistent, and completely hollow. But you have told it to yourself so many times in so many variations that it has become load-bearing infrastructure inside your mind. Remove it and something collapses. So you don't remove it. You reinforce it. Every week you reinforce it. Level 5, the exposure. You are 31. Internal Affairs has a file. You don't know how thick it is, but you know it exists because a friend of a friend who works in the building told someone who made sure you heard. The walls are tightening in a way that only the guilty recognize. You start making mistakes born not from carelessness, but from the particular kind of anxiety that comes from waiting for something you know is coming but cannot see yet. You over-explain things you were never asked about. You are too helpful in situations where your instinct used to be silence. Delgado goes quiet. The envelopes stop. In this business, silence from above means the structure above you is already dismantling itself and shedding weight downward, and you are the weight. Level 6. The choice. You are 32. A federal investigator sits across from you in a room that is not a formal interrogation room, which is deliberate, designed to feel like a conversation, not an arrest. She has documents, photographs, financial records that tell a story your salary cannot explain. She slides a folder across the table and gives you time to look at it. Then she explains your options with the calm efficiency of someone who has done this many times. You can cooperate, names, routes, contacts, everything, and what happens to you becomes negotiable. Or you don't cooperate, and what happens to you is not negotiable at all. You think about Ortega, who retired to Florida with his boat and his pension and has never been questioned about anything. You think about Delgado, who you haven't heard from in 4 months. You think about your daughter. You put your hands flat on the table. You start talking. The cycle. Your badge is gone. Your name appears in a press release that your former colleagues read over coffee with much less surprise. The corner where you used to run your arrangement is already covered by someone else, someone younger, someone who is right now telling himself that he is just observing, that he is not participating, that there is a difference. The envelopes are already moving again. The vehicles are already on the routes. The system did not pause when you fell out of it. It never does. It does not need any specific person to function. It only needs the gap between what the job pays and what the job costs, between what the manual says and what the street demands, between who you were at 23 and who you became by 32. That gap was there before you. It will be there after you. Somewhere right now, a rookie is riding with a 15-year veteran who hasn't filed an accurate report in years. He is watching. He is telling himself he is just observing. The veteran smiles. He's heard it before. The cycle does not end. It never ends. It simply finds the next person standing closest to the edge.